Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming outlets. Usually, me and Dwayne will have a football show, and we'll do a football show, but we could do our divisional football wrap up as we are both watching the ending of this Tampa Bay Saints game. And for those of you that don't know in the chat, me and Dwayne did our picks, and both of us picked the Saints to end the blowout because of the prior two games. And actually, we are not upset. We are enjoying this game because this is good football. At the end of the day, as football fans who don't have a dog in the fight, you just want good football. As long as it's competitive and the zebras don't have nothing to do with it, it's all right. But and Dwayne is rocking his championship sweatshirt today. So Dwayne, explain to the audience about this sweatshirt that you have on. What state champion is that?
Oh, this is the Union Farmers, man, from 2019. You know, Union is where we're from,
Union where, sir?
New
It's a whole lot
Jersey.
of unions in the state, in the country.
That's right, I forgot. Union, New Jersey. Blame it on the River Horse.
I'm gonna ask you a question in reference to that, Dwayne, because I know you follow high school football. Before we get into just talking about the game that we watched and talking about the other games, do you think they would have repeated?
Uh, you know, it was a COVID year, man. Everything was up and down. Um,
I know they was getting a lot of ducking though. It was a lot of teams not wanting to play them.
some people were
You
ducking
know,
us, though.
there was some ducking going on.
We won't name no names, Duck
You know,
Orange, but
yeah,
you know, we was getting duck.
there was
I
some
love your
ducking going on.
background, man. It shows the scholar that you are. I like
Yeah,
that.
I'm trying to get
Um,
myself together.
let's talk about Drew Brees and his noodle arm, man. He can't make throws.
Um, the thing is, it goes back to what you said to me about yesterday's game. Would Sean Payton have the balls enough to put Jameson?
Well, he put Jameson for that one long pass.
And it was accurate. It was perfect. And how did he get so open?
I
One thing
mean,
I wanted to discuss with you, Dwayne, was yes. What about yesterday's games? How'd you feel about Baltimore? And we both picked the Bills, and I don't
well,
think that we picked the Bills because we don't like Baltimore. I think that we both like Baltimore and their fans. We like Baltimore Ravens is one of the best ran organizations in all of pro sports. They just don't have an offense, man.
they got no offense. I'd have loved to have seen them win, but they ain't got no offense, bro.
You know,
And
and it goes
when
to the
they do
point.
well offensively, Buffalo defends that well. Buffalo is very good against the run.
And it goes back to Dwayne when we always discuss about the running quarterback. And the running quarterback, yeah, you could be a great runner, but that championships are won in that pocket.
Nothing. I'm bugging. Don't mind me. I'm bugging. I'm with the big bro, man. I'm
You heard
with you.
me about the running quarterback. That we could say a running quarterback is good and MVP's this, MVP's that, and highlights. But at the end of the day, he's got to be able to make the throws, and
Right.
him not being able to make them deep outs. See, that's the throw. A lot of people don't understand it. It's not the deep in or the long ball with accuracy. It's the deep out you got to make.
Listen, they're not even trying to throw the ball with Breeze right now.
No, no.
Second and 8, they run a run play like that. Todd Bowles gonna start pinning his ears back.
So I see that hashtag anything possible was trending on Twitter.
Yeah. Henny Sunday. What did it say? Henny Given Sunday is
Yeah,
trending all over.
but it's funny. It's funny because if you follow Andy Reid has always been a coach that knows how to coach up his backups. So the status of Patty Mahomes is that up in the air right
Big.
now?
That was big.
You heard me?
Patty Mahomes is gonna play next week. I don't think he's gonna be 100% because concussions, man. You don't know how it's gonna go, but the NFL is not going to have a situation where they got the AFC Championship game and Pat Mahomes is not playing.
But let me ask you, if it's a health protocol, Nobody could override that.
The NFL is not going to have AFC Championship game with Chad Henne at quarterback.
Yeah.
They'll send every specialist they got to Kansas City.
It'll be interesting because even if he does play,
It's gonna happen.
me and you actually watched the game when they played them before, and it was raining that day up in Buffalo, and Buffalo actually, man, and I know that you're a big Sean McDermott fan.
Yes.
I know that you've been talking about him even when he was just a defensive coordinator down in Carolina.
Look at
The
that.
man
Look at
could
that,
just flat
man.
out coach.
Oh my God. Hey, number 12, you better get you some heart. Yeah, he done, man. He done. He can't throw the ball. He gonna retire after this game, bro. Where's he throwing this, Quentin Ford? What a play by White.
I was
And number
behind you.
12.
I was behind you, but number 12 just made a bad business decision. This game's over. Because now Fournette gonna just run it down their throat.
What is 12 doing for the Saints?
It's funny because Bruce is actually gonna coach this close to the vest.
Now, will Tampa be the first team to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium?
They blew the Packers out during the regular season. It was in Tampa.
No Brady
Very
playing Cole. I mean, this one ain't over. You still got a lifetime.
very interesting game.
Let me ask you another question. How did the Jets let somebody like the Mario Davis go
For basically nothing, they traded him for a third round pick, right?
for a bag of balls?
You know, I
But
never. Hey, my buddy's in the chat, Rob. Hey,
what's up,
Rob.
bro?
Rob, I'm good. Yeah, good. Dwayne, this is a good friend of mine. We used to work together. This is my partner here, man. We we walked each other's back for over
I
a
know
year.
Rob, but Rob, if they score a touchdown,
No,
it's over.
Rob, we got to talk about your team. Dwayne does not know your team, Rob. Rob, what are your thoughts on your Houston Texans?
No.
He's a diehard Houston Texan fan. Deshaun wants out, Rob. It's not a joke. He wants out of there.
Yeah. We got first and goal here, Rob. They score here. This game is over, baby.
Yeah, Rob.
Woo!
Like you, Dwayne. He likes the Rockets too. Rob like everything Texas,
Oh, he all
everything
Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
The Astros fan. Listen, man,
Oh, not happy, Rob. Rob, me and Dwayne talked about the same thing, and one of the issues that Dwayne had brought up was the reason why Deshaun isn't happy because they keep going to that New England tree and keep hiring them guys. That's where they hired that GM from. And that's basically what Deshaun Watson is mad at. Why do y'all keep going to that same well? Hey, Rob, if he goes to the Jets, will you be a Jet fan? I don't think that's one thing I wanted to ask you, Dwayne.
so disrespectful.
What do you think is going to happen with Deshaun?
You ready for this? The worst thing that could possibly happen is gonna happen. Deshaun Watson's gonna wind up in San Francisco. You heard it here first.
You think they're going to give up the draft capital?
We're gonna take San Fran's draft because he's done in Houston, man. He don't believe in what they're doing. He thinks they're liars. Um, listen, they turned down two guys that their own. They hired a searching firm and the firm gave them two coaches that they feel like they should have interviewed, and the Texans was like, "No, we're not interviewing them."
Wow. Wow.
Deshaun wanted a little say in who they were interviewing. He wanted to give a little input, and input from him for this GM thing.
Exactly, Rob. Everybody want to go to that New England tree, and me and Dwayne have tried to tell people. What's funny is nobody talks about the only one that has had success is Flores, and nobody talks about it. And what's funny is going forward, Flores done set up his organization to be good for the next 10 years. Basically, if they draft well for the next, they got the third pick. I think they got the third pick and the 20 like 820s pick, something like that. They got enough picks to last for a long, long
Yeah.
time. So I mean, Dwayne, I lost your
Can
picture.
you see me?
Nah. And they got enough picks, Rob, to last for a long time. Like I think Miami has six. It sounds crazy, 6 picks in the top 100.
It's
You get
crazy.
picks like that, and they let me tell you, if I was Miami, and I know people say, they don't know about Tua. If I'm Miami, I'm trading that third pick, and I'm coming for everything in the draft. I'm gonna literally draft at least 15 players. I know it sounds crazy, but me and Dwayne will be doing our draft show soon and talk about needs for each team, and we'll discuss that during the draft show. But Miami set up well, and he's the only one from that quote unquote Belichick tree or New England guys that's been successful. We go back to Eric Mangini, Bill O'Brien,
Yeah.
Scott Pioli, uh, Thomas Dimitroff. None of these guys have been successful. None of them. No coach, no nothing except Tommy. Coach Weiss, Charlie Weiss was successful when he went to Notre Dame. None of them. Not none of
Only
them.
that's been good. He was a player. He wasn't part of the coaching staff. He was a player. Was Mike Rabel?
Yeah, yeah, Rob. All those picks for Miami came from the Steelers and the Texans, and that's one thing that they did as an organization was a shrewd move. Is when they traded Larry Tunsil for the first pick to you guys, and then they traded for 2 first rounders. And with the Steelers, they gave up Fitzpatrick, so a lot of people thought they were crazy, but they actually did what we say in the NBA. They tanked, and they kept some core guys and players who played hard for them last year, carried over this year. Now they're a 10-win team that didn't go to the playoffs, so you know they're going to be hungry. Yeah, yeah, Rob. Vrabel didn't play. Vrabel played for him. Vrabel didn't coach there. And it's funny because the national media always says, "Oh, he's from the tree." He's not from the tree. That's the only thing that he got connection to is he played for the Patriots.
Right.
But when they talk about coaching trees, it's usually coached either. Even if you was a ball boy, they'll say you was from the coaching tree.
Yeah. And shout out to all my fellas in the struggle, man. Keep your head up. Oh man, got a lot of
So,
people
this,
texting me right now. You know, it's what we do. It's Sunday. It's football.
so Dwayne,
If you don't want the commentary, mute the story. Mute the
how you
post.
feel about how you feel about Chicago going? I mean Chicago. How you feel about Cleveland going forward? They got their they done came out there to the fishing pond with us and bought some
Listen, I
fish
was a
bait.
little upset with Cleveland, man, because I think the game plan that they went to in the second half, they should have been going the whole game like that. Run with Hunt and with Chubb. Todd Bowles is calling some defense tonight, folks. And Jets ain't won them. No,
Talking about Vrabel.
Vrabel never coached there. It's just a player. So man,
Yeah,
early,
I think. What
early.
What do you think about Dwayne? I know he's a local guy, so we always try to promote the local guys. What do you think about Todd? You think if he gets a real legitimate coaching job. The thing with the Jets ended quick, and that thing out in
love,
Arizona really.
I love the fact that he called the Lions and was like, let's stop playing games, man. Let's cancel that interview. And they mutually agreed to cancel his interview because he knows anything that with Detroit would have just been
Yeah,
too
we
weeks.
discussed that. Like these guys is playing games, and basically Detroit said it's this Dan Campbell's job, right?
Well, they may be able to hire Dan Campbell tomorrow. At this rate, unless Drew Brees got some magic in his arm, it's amazing, man. They don't
Interesting.
trust Drew Brees. They still putting it in Kamara's hand. I'm shocked what I'm watching. Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback, man, and they literally taking the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually running the ball right now down
Ball
10
game,
either.
ball game, ball game.
I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you rate their run, man? A lot of people try to always say that him and Sean had this great run. Dwayne, they only had one championship with all these wins, man.
Well, yeah, but I want people to be careful about that, man. That it's a situation where all Aaron Rodgers did was win one.
So far.
Yeah, well,
So he'll be working with Fox next year, right?
yep.
So what do you think? You think Sean Payton makes the shrewd move and he signs Jameis long terms?
Nope.
He's gonna be Tyson Hill.
Yep. I think he's gonna go with him because he did this year.
Think
I
that's a
mean, I
mistake?
think Sean Payton's one of those guys that like to prove everybody wrong, make it seem like he right. You know? Yeah, Dave. I think this game was over before it started, though, man. I would not be surprised if you come out of this game hearing that Drew Brees got some type of problem with his hand or shoulder or something.
Anything else, Dwayne? Any more rumors you want to talk about that's going on in the league?
I think it's ridiculous. I did my rant yesterday. But EB ain't going to get a job, man.
Yeah,
You know,
that's crazy.
I think Josh McDaniels going to wind up being the Eagles head coach.
You think he'll take that job?
He interviewing for it, and he don't normally interview for jobs. He's very selective now.
I think the reason why I think he'll take the job, even though Laurie and Peterson had a problem, I believe that Josh should go there and mess around and have a lot of leeway over that personnel. Not that he deserves it, not that he's earned it, but I just think Laurie's one of them type of owners that'll give him a lot of credence because of the program that Belichick ran, which is interesting because everywhere Josh has been outside of Belichick and then what he did to the Colts and the Mia Copa, turning his back on the Colts. I mean, can you trust him?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting. He take that job.
It
But
would.
I was thinking, Dwayne. I know you mentioned that you think the 49ers gonna get Deshaun.
Yeah.
I thought of a team today, and I said if they was to get him, I'll be sick twice a year, man. And you already know what I'm talking about.
You talking about the football team?
Yeah,
They don't have the capital. They really don't have
they
the capital to do it.
they don't have nothing in this draft they can give up.
Who? Unless they giving up one of those D linemen.
I'm saying give up all their picks.
What, 19?
You give up 19. You give up a first next year.
Yeah, I don't see them as being. I see it being San Francisco. Um,
So you think San Francisco's gonna wind up giving up some picks and players? I know you've been trying to. I, I know one player that you've been trying to get off of San Francisco's roster since he was drafted last year. You've been trying to get Kinlaw off of their roster bad.
I was a big
For,
fan of
for
Kinlaw,
those in the
that
chat,
draft night,
for those
and
in the chat,
he had a
a
very
lot of
decent
people don't
rookie
know.
season.
Dwayne is a huge Kinlaw fan. Dwayne think Kinlaw is going to be one of the best next things in defense. If you
Listen,
haven't watched him, just watch the 49ers and watch Kinlaw. I know Bosa gets a lot of the credit. You got the linebacker, the other linebacker, the middle linebacker. But if you watch San Francisco, just look at Kinlaw.
number 99, man. He good. But hey, man, I give a lot of credit to this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offensive line. They had injuries, people stepped in, they getting it done. They got the rookie tackle.
Whew. My son's team's lost and his mother's team lost. Rough in that household tonight.
Yeah, man.
the,
Hey,
them
six and
cornflakes,
six,
them
man. They
cornflakes gonna
do
go
get
down.
better.
The way them cornflakes gonna go down real rough tomorrow morning.
You funny.
Woo, man.
So, man, for us, man, after this game is over, there's only 3 more NFL games this season. It makes me sad.
I seen that I did get a report that they did something about the how they gonna amend the combine, how they gonna do it different. Did you see that?
I heard they're trying to do a regional or something.
That'd be interesting. That'd be different. And I
Yeah,
think that a lot of teams will appreciate that better because your scouts in those regions are really like hands on.
that's ball game, brother. That's ball game, big bro.
So I know we ain't gonna do our picks for next week.
Yeah.
We already know Sunday's game. Sunday,
Second half.
Dwayne, we already know Sunday's game gonna be a Sunday night's game gonna be the Packers and the Bucks. So let's get that straight. For those that don't understand the NFL and the TV market and how they market these games, you have to understand that the NFL goes by a system called region, and the NFC has the marquee matchup.
I think they're gonna beat Green Bay.
Watch yourself. That might be prediction over there. Did I hear you?
I know. I was talking to my man.
You talking to George? So we got the Bucks and the Packers next Sunday night. I'm gonna just say it right now. You don't need
Brady
to look at
Rogers.
NFL Network, and you got Buffalo and the Chiefs. The
Will,
early game, very
will, Pat,
interesting game.
will Patty Mahomes play? Will he be cleared?
What Mahomes' health status is key. Um, this week should be interesting. A couple more coaching hires should be hired this week. A lot of rumors in the NFL going on.
But like they
Uh,
say, any given Sunday,
and
any given Sunday.
be mindful of one thing in the NFL that this is the latest. Now they haven't said for sure what the salary cap is going to be, whether it's going to go down or remain the same. But this is the latest that they ever even have not set a salary cap because they still getting their revenues in for this year. So
Oh, there we
you know,
go.
be
Yeah.
mindful.
Listen, man. I'm sad. I'm happy and sad at the same time, man. I'm happy because next week is AFC NFC Championship, but we only got 3 more football games left this season, man. And then the Patrick Surtain Jr. watch begins. For me and my Dallas Cowboys, the Patrick Surtain Jr. watch begins. And I want you all on this Let's Talk platform to do me a favor, okay? Don't fall for Quentin Ford and Craig Walker, please. Because they're going to tell you we should be taking the tackle from Alabama, and we're not doing that. They want big 5'8" from Alabama. We're not doing that.
Dwayne is trying to hedge my pick. I don't want the tackle from Alabama who's shooting up the draft charts because of that national championship game. But if you look at his tape from last year, his tape from last year is bad.
Very bad.
So I would not be one to pick him in the first round, to be perfectly honest with you. But I will say that drafting a cornerback in the first round is interesting. I got three players that I want on that roster, and by any means necessary, it's another player. It's a free agent. I'll mention him just to give you guys a tidbit. It's a free agent that I want on the roster by any means necessary. He's projected to make about $7 million in free agency. Will McClay, go get May.
Will
Will McClay, go get May. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know I want May.
And Will McClay, go get May.
I've been on May.
He's worth the
Man,
$7
listen,
million.
man, the NFL hit a jackpot. They got Tom Brady moving on, man.
Is this the closest anybody ever got to having a home Super Bowl game?
Listen, they
To
win
the championship? Usually the teams go really bad.
Yeah, but if they win next week, Super Bowl is in their home stadium. And look at Tom Brady. All he does is get to championship game. Drew Brees gonna have to answer these retirement questions.
It's over.
Did he just
So yeah,
say
we got a very
projected?
interesting show. I will tell you I zeroed in on it's three linebackers that I want as a Cowboy fan, but we'll only be able to get one. I'd be happy with three. With one of the three, I don't think we're going to be able to get Parsons because we're going to get a cornerback in the first round, not to the 10. But if you can get me if you can get me Bostic, I won't be upset. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this right now, and I want the camera.
Bostic or Smith.
I want people to really look at me when I say this. Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. So we got some people out here trying to be like us, but all we got is trust. So I'm just gonna leave that like that right there. What it used to be a commercial back in the 70s and 80s, right? My brother. It was like
Yeah.
it's nothing like the real thing. What's that? Nothing like the real thing, man. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
we
you
love
remember that? Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
but we love it. We love competition. Competition breeds champions, man, and we're winners. We're gonna always be winners. But listen, this is fun times, man. Um, I think you're gonna have all these 4-letter and 3-letter networks. You're gonna hear about.
Oh, that's what I'm glad you brought that up, Dwayne. Um, and Rob put his Super Bowl prediction in there.
Rob Buffalo can't run the ball, though. Rob, they
Hey,
can't
hey,
run the
Dwayne,
ball.
Dwayne, I got a phone call today that somebody that didn't know something. They saw something in the Fox pregame that they didn't know, and I'd like you to talk about it. And the thing they didn't know that Tom Rinaldi was working for Fox. So they asked me, they said, when he leave? I said he left ESPN 3 weeks ago and came right into the job. He didn't even take a day off.
Wasn't 3 weeks ago. Last week was his first week on Fox. Okay, he did ESPN. He was there for like bowl games, right? So he took like basically a week off. All he did was took a week off. Now the thing I don't like about it is, and I'm gonna speak on it. Christina Pink has been doing a great job for Fox. What did she What did she do wrong this year? Where she was taken off the first team for sideline reporting to make room for Ronaldo. and it was nowhere for her. It was nowhere else. I got everybody calling me. Hold on. Did you lose me?
No.
There we go. Yeah, I got all these people. Hold on. I got to take care of a little house cleaning. You know, that's what I be trying to tell people, man. You got these people that be like, "Why do you say this or why do you say that?" But then when the game is over, all they do is call. So I must be saying something right during these games, right? You think?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man. You know, so Christina Pink, she gets put to the sidelines, man. She ain't do nothing wrong. She been doing a
Hmm.
great job with the first team at Fox. Now you don't even hear from Christina Pink. It's like she disappeared in thin air
Wow.
because they put Rinaldi right on the number one team with Aaron Andrews. And don't get me wrong, Tom Rinaldi is one of the best reporters you could ever have. Like ESPN
Yeah,
losing the
that's
big one with him.
losing. It's funny
You
that they threw
muted.
him to the sideline
You're
because
muted.
actually, did they fire him or his contract ran out?
Can't hear you.
No, I'm not muted. You're not muted. I'm not muted. You lost sound since you did something to your phone. I can hear you. Could you hear me, Dwayne?
Can't hear you.
No, I lost
Hold
the
on. Hold on. Hold on.
I lost volume of Dwayne. He'll join us back. He'll jump back in. Got Coach Mickens coming in. The coach is here.
I'm so thankful that y'all let me on here.
He's gonna come back. You want to
I'm
save the
thankful.
thought till he comes?
Listen, that was the last time I think we'll see Drew Brees in a uniform, man. And it's sad to say, but that Tom Brady cat is at it again, man. He's at it again. Hey,
Go
Dwayne,
blue.
D, this is that upset you was talking about.
Yeah, but I thought it was in the other game.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
So let me ask you, Coach Mickens.
Yeah.
We know that historically Brady has played in the cold.
Yeah.
They are expecting snow and 20 degrees in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I will say that bad man said when they got home field advantage, he said, "I love it, and I've been wanting to get some teams up here in the playoffs."
Yeah. Well, you said it right. That's a bad man. That's the one thing you got to say. But I will say this: TB12. I hope you're out there listening, Dre. If you're out there listening, go on your Facebook. I know how much you hate some Tom Brady, Dre. But you can't hate him, man. He raises the level of everybody on his team. Great quarterbacks do that. And he's played in the cold all his life. His ball can cut through the wind and the air too. You know the thing I thought about though immediately when they said the matchup, it's a daytime game.
Yes.
It's a daytime.
They didn't give
That's
him
a
they didn't give him the
big thing.
nighttime slot, Dwayne.
No.
Huh?
Nighttime is AFC.
Oh,
Nighttime is AFC. Yeah,
I thought they would give them the nighttime slot.
that's
I
a
called that wrong.
big difference. Yeah.
Wow.
And but now don't get it twisted. Now Tom Brady ain't afraid of the cold. He played at Michigan. He played
Don't
up in
believe.
New England. You know, if you think about it, all those years they were winning, Tom Brady used to say the same. It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
It is.
If you go in there sleeves off, you know, so those guys are those guys are bullies, man, and their defense is playing good at the right time.
Well, Coach, since we got you here, man, Dwayne wants to add you to the link, but don't want to ask you none of these tough questions.
What's that?
So I have to ask you.
Yeah.
The biggest question all week will be the status of Patty McHolmes.
Yeah.
Talk to me? Tell me what's your thoughts, man?
I thought the NFL did a great job of keeping him out. If you were listening to the broadcast, Jim Nance gave it away. He said, I talked to Dwayne about it already. He said, if that's not a concussion, I don't know what is. And Tony Romo didn't say anything. And he kind of gave it the out, like the player's out. But he'll play. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, all year long I've been saying to people, if he ever caught COVID would go away. So because they can't have him missing games. So we'll have to see. I mean, that was a bad hit. But let me say this to you right now. I'm put it on record. If I had a $500 million quarterback, I would not be running read option on 3rd and 1.
Thank you.
Just let you know.
See, one of the things that he's a championship coach, and
$1 billion.
You know as well as anybody, coaching and just being able to win a game is not easy. And the criticism that Andy has always had is he's an inventive play calling, but his game management and his play calling, knowing when to call certain plays, is coming into question again with that call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's two sides to it, right? I mean, you got to be who you are. Players got to play, but that's just to me, that's just a strange call. 3rd and 1. That's
crazy, not with him.
Yeah, that's a strange call. So
let me ask you a question. And one of the strengths of Andy, because I do got to give him, I do got to criticize him.
Yeah,
he is. If we've watched football with that eye the last 15 years, he always seems to know how to prep up and get his backup quarterbacks ready to play a game.
Yeah.
So can they win if Henny has to play?
No.
Henny given Sunday.
No.
Go blue.
No.
It's trending on Twitter, Coach.
No, I ain't know any given Sunday. I hear you. But their defense isn't dominating enough, number one. Number two, the kid up there, Josh Allen in Buffalo, is hot. Hot. Diggs is hot.
They on fire right now.
They're on fire. Their defense is hot. And
Listen
so their defense is good. And what makes Kansas City great is that they're the 3-ring circus. So, but part of the 3-ring circus is the guy that's calling the shots, is the ringleader. And you saw it today, like, when what's his name? Tyreek Hill went crazy on the sideline because Henny was correct.
Yeah.
Henny saw, I'm going to get deep. Henny saw a safety over the top. He had a bracketed coverage to the inside. Tyreek Hill, so most guys are covered. Tyreek Hill took him 2 steps into the inside, brought the safety with him, then stuck his foot in the ground and ran a corner and beat the corner back to the outside and beat the safety back. But if you're the quarterback, your read should have been quick. High to the safety. He saw it. I'm off of that. Come back down. And Tyreek Hill went crazy because he was like, yo, I beat him. Now, Pat Mahomes waits because he can. And Pat Mahomes wait, drift to the right, sling the ball sidearm into the back of the end zone, and Tyreek Hill will run and get it because we'll think it's going to nobody, and he'll catch it. That's the difference.
We have another participant, right, that I'm going to introduce to the show. About 2 weeks ago, I was calling this man the devil.
Yeah.
I was wrong, but he was making me call him the devil. But his name is Brother Walker because he wanted the Cowboys to win.
Oh,
and we didn't want the Cowboys to win.
Where you at, Craig? Craig, you mad because Cleveland lost.
No, I picked Kansas City to win.
Yeah.
You
was talking about Cleveland winning yesterday.
Yeah, but
Bonnie wasn't running the ball, Craig.
Huh?
I don't know. That's a great question. Not only I think they should have ran the ball directly at him instead of going side to side with the stretch plays. They was getting most of their success between the tackles.
Who, Cleveland?
Yes.
But that's what they do. They run stretch. Wide stretch, man. Wide, that's their game.
I understand they run wide stretch. I know to try to, but they was getting most of their yards between the tackles today.
Yeah.
When they attacked them.
Yeah.
And I just think they got pass happy. They got too, they got pass happy.
Yeah, you gotta do what you do, man. I tell you, man, the hardest thing, and then I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let y'all marinate on this. All right. There's no difference between an 0-16 team and a 16-0 team in the amount of time you put in preparation, because I've been there. And the worst feeling you ever have, ready, is you spend 50, 60, 70 hours. If this, then that. If this, then that. You call 3 plays into a game, and you might as well take your sheet and throw it out the window. Meaning, we done. We done. They got us. They got us. The chess match is over. People be talking about at halftime, you can do this at halftime. You can't change your spots. What you practice all week is who you are. So if you practiced all week running, I'm just making this up, Greg. If you practiced all week saying running outside zone, you can't come back and run inside zone. So sometimes you just ass out. And today, it looked like Cleveland was ass out. Like they came in with a plan. They were making these calls off of that plan, and they were wrong. And they didn't play bad. They didn't play bad.
So, Brother Walker.
Yes.
It's almost a year. It's almost a year anniversary, Brother Walker, that we decided, and you came and we did our football show, and you made a prediction about a team, and now they're in the AFC Championship. Are you shocked that they're this far?
I'm more shocked at how Josh Allen played this year. He progressed very well. I think the only problem with Buffalo is to win it, you got to run the football, and they don't run the football. They don't.
It ain't Josh Allen, Greg. It's Stephon Diggs.
Well, that too. Stephon Diggs get him in, but Josh Allen, his passing completion percentage went up. I know you got Stephon Diggs, but you got to give him credit too.
I give him a little bit of credit.
Is he the biggest free agent signing since Darren Sproles?
Yes.
Oh yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Dwayne, what's my motto, Dwayne? I'm a really good coach with really good players.
That's right. And that was a trade, Quentin Ford.
It was a trade. It was a trade. My bad, Dwayne. It was a trade. Correction. Thank you.
That was a great trade.
No, you know why we got Craig Walker.
That was a great trade.
We got Craig Walker wearing his Union Squad shirt. I got the state championship shirt. We can't go any further in this show without saying rest in peace to a legend.
Yes.
Number 35, Joe Cruz.
Yes.
Hey,
Craig, you ready?
Huh?
You remember the day
What's up?
Joe Cruz put us on that fence and was throwing sandballs at us in between?
Yo.
Do you remember, Craig?
No. Well, I remember, but I got because I missed camp that year. So he had to get me back somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I missed camp. Remember, I was in the hospital still.
That's right. Yo, listen to this. He had me, Kirk. I just assumed he was with us. He had all the
but I heard
up
about
on this fence, right? He poured syrup on our head, and they was like, "Yo, Jose, get him!" And Joe took sand and tried to make a snowball. And if you know Jose, which I all do, he threw it, and I'm telling you, this thing broke apart within 5 seconds. He was like, "Ah!" He got mad, made another one through the next one.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And he didn't have no like his front teeth was kind of baby, right? So he was like, yo, for real, like we stood on this fence with syrup on our head. He made like 7 of these shits, none of them hit us. 0.
I tell you, you couldn't have met one of the more. As it's an oxymoron what I'm about to say. You couldn't met one of the more toughest nice guys in the world.
He was a tough dude.
And he would not allow you to be soft in any way around him. You couldn't be, even if you were a soft-spoken guy, he'd be like, "Yo, speak up, man. I can't hear you."
He stood for what was right.
Yeah. He was good.
He got
He was damn good outside linebacker.
It's funny because when you guys were playing, me and Dwayne literally used to get mad at Retino because he would not give Joe the ball.
nah. He
Right.
only ran one play.
Me and Dwayne used
He
to be
only
watching
ran
the game
track.
like, yo, this is BS, yo.
Yeah. He only ran one
ran
play.
bring back track.
Craig, do you remember what play he ran?
What, wing back trap?
35 crisscross.
Yeah, he ran that, but he ran ring back trap too.
35 crisscross and ring back.
And he got positive yards every time he got
Positive yards. 35 crisscross might have been called 10 times, and it was all 10 touchdowns. They might have called that play 35 10 times. It was 10 touchdowns. And then the other one was, do you remember Lizette? Oh, no, Lucy. I can't remember her name, Craig. But we was in a Spanish class. Kirk remember this, too. He was in Spanish 1.
Who, Lucy Melendez?
Spanish 1 as seniors. Well, he was a senior. We were sophomores. And she was like, Joe was doing this dance. He's like going back and forth. And she was like, "Oh, Jose, you dance so well." He's like, "I know." He's dancing, "I know." Oh,
Yeah, but
my God.
I know he's been sick for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Sick for a long time.
Sad.
It is sad.
So. But Dwayne, thank you for bringing that up. Jose was the man, boy.
Yeah, man.
I also remember Jose and Clarence fighting on Revere. And I thought, bro, those two fought. I thought it was like Ali Frazier. I was a 10th grade. I was like, yo, these are two heavyweights fighting up in the middle of the street.
Well, look at the instigator right there.
Well, we don't need to hear all that. Right?
What's the instigator? Who said it was you?
We don't need to hear all that, Craig.
That was a good thing. That was you, Dwayne?
Yeah, but we talking about fond memories.
I never knew that.
I just saw something, and I gotta ask. I know Dwayne's thoughts on it most of the time, and Brother Walker, we probably haven't really talked about it.
What?
Since we got Coach here, I just need you guys' thoughts, you three, on sentiment that everybody thinks that it was Brady needed Belichick or Belichick needed Brady, and not really understanding they were great together. And what are y'all thoughts on that?
ESPN 570.
Who wants to go first?
I mean, they went good together. They went to so many Super Bowls and they won so many. I mean, he's doing a great job with Tampa Bay, but I think they was just those two were a match made in heaven. You don't go to like 9 Super Bowls.
Right. Right.
What?
Right. Hey, do me a favor, Dwayne. Name me a wideout other than Randy Moss.
Yeah.
What's my man number 80? What was his name?
Andre Caldwell.
Troy Brown. Troy Brown.
No, but the thing that's crazy is that a lot of people. I know Dwayne was on it from the door. He kept saying every time they would throw the report up, Dwayne would be like, "Another player has opted out from COVID from New England." They had 10 starters opt out.
Yeah, big
and I think that a lot of people don't realize that. Like, yo, 10 starters opting out because of COVID. That's a lot of players, man.
Yeah, and Cam Newton is trash too, by the way.
Yeah, and they're gonna get their quarterback back next year. Yeah. And then he's gonna be right back where he was. Because guess
what? You talking about
Garoppolo, Cornstar Jimmy, gonna be right back in New England.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be rolling.
Yeah. I think what people need to this is another one for Dre if he's listening too. Because he hate Belichick too. But Dwayne, you know the numbers on this? Or Craig, y'all might know them. What was Bill Parcells' winning percentage without Bill Belichick?
It wasn't great.
It was like 30 some odd. It was like 30%. With Belichick, it was somewhere at 80 some odd percent. Yeah. And
I know when they were together, they never lost to a rookie quarterback. I know that.
It's some crazy number. But I think the thing that everybody needs to understand too is I think Bill is a defensive genius. I mean, he reinvented the game. And when you say, well, how did he do that? just look at the Buffalo game with the Giants. You know, look at the '86 game with the Giants. You know, there's just some games where look at the Falcons game when he's with New England. Look at he's got these one games as coaches where you just look at it and you just put them in the Hall of Fame. You're like, damn, like you slowed down this offense.
The Jacksonville game from a couple years ago, the halftime adjustment was incredible.
Well, listen, does everybody know what the amoeba defense is now? Everybody know what that is, right? Where everybody stands around and wanders around. And now it's all popular. The amoeba. Well, that was him. The amoeba defense is him. Like, what New Orleans was playing today was his defense. I told Dwayne about it earlier in the week. And I think they said it during the game, like that they can stop the run with 7 DBs on the field, or at times 6 DBs. You would never even think to do that, but Belichick did. And then his drafts, like on offense, like drafting all these tight ends and forcing people when everybody else was trying to go spread, he was taking Hernandez and Gronk and running what they call 22 personnel.
22.
Right. And he was running 2 tight ends, and one of them was a stretch tight end that could get down the field. The other one was an all-purpose blocking everything else. I mean, listen to me. Hernandez killed the Joker. If Hernandez hadn't killed the Joker, they might have won 9 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize how good that fucking Gronk ain't shit compared to how good Hernandez was.
Well, you gotta understand, and you saw that at Florida, how he stretched the field when he was with yeah, he was tough.
If those
man.
two had stayed together,
Yeah,
he was also throwing for crazy.
He was also stretching gangbangers at Florida.
I mean,
come on, hey, Dwayne.
One thing, hey, Craig, I know it was coming eventually. Hey, one thing that I like about Belichick, and this is what you notice. You mentioned it, Sammy. He's such a trendsetter, and he's so far ahead of everybody else. I remember the one year where he literally traded all his picks for players.
Yeah.
So they asked me, he said, look, I'm not getting no value out of developing nobody right now. Mm-hmm. And then he'll switch up and then he'll draft all these players. He's always a step ahead of everyone else.
Yo, Quentin, Q, you said it best. As soon as you start talking about it, do y'all know, just say this person's name. He's a DB. Do y'all know the trade he caught the most flack for in his career, and then everybody started doing it? Michigan dude. Who was it?
Ty Law.
He traded Ty Law, and people were like, what?
No, he
traded Ty Law.
No, it wasn't Ty Law.
No, it was Lawyer Malloy.
It was Lawyer
Malloy, yeah.
And they traded Lawyer Malloy at the peak of his career.
Yeah,
they were 0-2.
I thought he was nuts.
And they were 0-2 and didn't lose another game that year.
Right, and he got maximum value, and then that became the Patriot way. Once it got, and then he started devaluing players.
Richard Seymour.
Think about Richard Seymour, the cornerback. He didn't play in the Super Bowl,
right?
I mean, he just started devaluing players on purpose.
Collins, the linebacker.
The running backs. He would always use 3-4 running backs because he never wanted one to reach their kickers.
No, think about Corey Dillon just enough.
Right.
See, my thing is always, and I don't blame no fan for being upset with him because, as fans, when you boo a coach or a player, that means you really like him.
Yeah.
But one thing, I've always listened to these players that talk about him, and like basically Teddy Bruschi said it best. He teaches you everything you need to know as a player.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
No. He and Phil Jackson had the best quotes, and it hangs in my locker room now. I've always said it and Craig's been to a game. Dwayne's been to a few games with me. And through my career as a player, I was a yeller. And they both have a saying, and it said, when yelling begins, teaching ends. And so people think that yelling and all this other stuff, but if you listen to Bill Belichick, or Phil Jackson, neither one of them ever raised their voice. They're always just talking to these dudes, talking to them. And so, Dwayne, I was saying how I try not to yell on the sidelines. And so that's a Bill Belichick.
One of his biggest rules was shown today.
Yeah.
He actually has a rule that he teaches all his offensive players they can never stretch the ball over the goal line.
Yeah.
And we've seen it today with Higgins.
Yeah.
Stretch that ball over the goal line,
Yeah.
getting hit, and a touchback happened.
Yeah.
And they say if you do that in New England in practice, you get fined.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, another thing we saw today was when that offensive lineman did that dump. I almost posted on Facebook, but I didn't want to hear people. You know, when guys flinch, they jump out now. And Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have made a career of making people jump across, and then they get free plays.
Right.
And Brady went crazy on that lineman. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You can read his lips because he had a free play.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in New England, that's the little things that they teach. Like they teach every little thing, man. Nothing goes. Well, you know the sign that they have. Do your job. It's as basic as you can imagine. Do your job.
Oh yeah.
Craig Puro.
Yeah. The guy from Union was yelling at the kids.
Who's that?
He got these people. He was assistant coach at Union. He was coaching. What was it, JV?
It was
Stop
hilarious.
yelling, man. You don't need to yell. We got yelled at.
Dwayne.
I'm telling you right now, the yelling, all that yelling, like you disrespecting people too, man.
Breaking news.
What?
Lions are expected to hire Dan Campbell, gentlemen.
Told you. You know what's some other breaking news?
What?
Sounds like Urban Meyer is hiring Raheem Morris to run his defense.
That's so smart.
Listen, he's got two good coordinators.
You know who else?
Oh, you talking about Linehan?
You know who else? Trinity Episcopal School.
Dwayne.
Why?
Spiros, what's up?
That's right.
What's up, Spiros? Tell us what you feeling about these games, Spiros.
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah.
This brother Spiros in the chat, he's a big Chicago fan.
Yeah.
Big Chicago Bear fan.
Well, I feel sorry for him because it looks like whatchamacallit's going to Washington. What's his name? Stafford. He's going to go to Washington.
Don't scare me like that.
Yeah, I think he is. Why are you scared? You're a Dallas fan. You're going to get your guy back.
I know. But
what you worried about? Your team is straight, man.
That defense with a quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be a good division. I mean, the Giants will suck, but don't worry about it. I love that. The Giants.
Spiro, I think you're right because the way he left the field tonight makes you think that's it for him. He was blowing kisses. Yeah, he was blowing kisses to the fans that was there. And then when he was going up the tunnel, he took one last look back at the field.
Yeah. You see his wife's face when he showed her?
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But man had 11 broken ribs and a punctured lung.
He'll be doing TV next year.
He already got it gig. He already got his gig.
Well, I'm going to say this, too. It was really, my wife was like, well, how come Breeze can't throw it down the field? And she knows sports enough. And I said, you know, when things start to go, you know, when you Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, you 6'6", 240, right. When you lose stuff, you can still drive it down the field. When you 5'10", 200 pounds, you can't drive it down the field. I mean, he couldn't throw the ball 30 yards today. It was sad. It was sad.
No, he couldn't.
I mean, they loved the line of scrimmage, and he couldn't do a thing about it.
Andy Reid going to his 9th championship game.
Who that?
Andy Reid going to his 9th championship game, man. Okay. Andy Reid is good.
I was just curious with the fellas.
Yeah, Andy Reid is
What's
good.
up? Hey, big
Listen,
bro.
Who's winning the whole thing? Let's talk about
Listen, Big Bro George want to know what y'all feel about Andy Reid.
Andy Reid finally won because he got his quarterback. I mean, he's a good coach, bad in-game manager. Still, his in-game management has still never been good. But he's a good play designer. I don't like his play calls.
Can I get deep with y'all now?
Mm-hmm.
I know y'all gonna all agree with me. Andy Reid been giving opportunities to black men for as long as the NFL been around. Andy Reid was hiring black coordinators. Andy Reid was having black quarterbacks. Andy Reid was running spread offenses with Donovan McNabb and throwing the ball 35 times a game when people were telling him he shouldn't have thrown the ball 35 times a game.
No, that's true.
It's funny.
Is that true?
It's funny you said that.
That's true.
Yeah. Sammy, it's funny you said that because I said it Dwayne earlier. I said even though the we were talking about Eric Bieniemy not calling plays, I said at this point I don't even care that he don't call plays. One thing that I know that he could relate to the players.
Yes.
And that's just as important as calling plays nowadays.
Well, it don't matter whether he call them or not. Andy Reid is saying that he is calling them.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, listen, he probably calls more than not because they're not in position to lose their job. Like, you know, if you have Todd Bowles as your head coach in New York and y'all start losing, who you think's gonna take over the defense? Todd motherfucking Bowles. Yeah, because he ain't trying to lose his job. Same thing. Like if the offense ain't clicking, Andy Reid gonna come in and step in that room. But when you 14-1 or whatever they are, I'm sure he's calling a lot of plays. And when it gets down to crunch time, Andy Reid throws a play in. But you know,
Dwayne, who did the Eagles
out front has said that Eric Bieniemy is my offensive coordinator. Period. End of discussion.
Who did the Eagles interview, Dwayne, from that staff?
Adam Gase.
Mike Kafka.
It's ridiculous.
Listen, Spiros, I think the perfect place for Jameis Winston is Chicago. New Orleans ain't going to re-sign him, baby. They're not. They're going to go with Taysom Hill. They love Taysom Hill.
Well,
Chicago, you know, here's my problem, though.
what?
This is bad to say because I love some brothers at quarterback. If you get beat out by Taysom Hill, that's a bad situation. If your name is Jameis Winston and you get with Sean Payton, that's like Cam going to Bill Belichick, and there's no coming back. Like if you go to Belichick or Payton or Andy Reid and you can't be successful, then you're done. You're done.
Coach Mickens, Brandon Staley just got hired.
Who did?
Brandon Staley. Defensive coordinator of the Rams. The first year defensive coordinator of the Rams got hired for head coach of the Chargers.
I told y'all what I think it is with the enemy, right?
No, you told me.
No, I was on the phone with Craig and Dwayne.
Yeah,
he got those priors, man. I told you, he's got that domestic violence, man. That's taboo today, man. That's taboo. But he does have on his side is social media, and like Sean, what's his name? What's the old quarterback for the Vikings now?
Sean Salisbury.
Sean Salisbury did something on Twitter the other day and said if he doesn't get a job, and it's kind of followed it up like that, like that's how racist the NFL is. So he does have that on his side, but it's like I said to you and Dwayne, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is much less racist today than it is wanting to win. And you get draft picks for hiring him. Right. So there's got to be something there. Like Jacksonville, you know that owner is not racist. Khan is not. Hasn't been, has shown himself not to be, and he hired Urban Meyer. You know, there are a couple organizations that have shown themselves not to be racist through the years, and they didn't hire him. And you get draft picks for hiring them.
Yeah.
It just something's not passing the smell test with him. So that's
Yeah.
Right.
And Q, it's obvious that our guy is not interviewing well, Q.
who that?
Matt
Evilfuss.
Eberflus.
Yeah, maybe.
He can't. I mean, because he was the top coordinator everybody was talking about going into the cycle.
Let me tell you who the worst candidate is. Y'all ready?
Who?
It's fat ass Brian Dable. He gonna suck. Brian Dable from the Bills is straight ass.
And that's why the Chargers went away from him. Because they saw what he did these last 2 playoff games.
He don't run the football.
Brian Dable, it ain't about that. Sean McDermott is running that shit. That's like looking at my man in Pittsburgh. That's like looking at that joker. Don't ever take nobody under them cats. They run
Dwayne,
bullshit.
got a question.
Who the best coach in the NFL right now? Y'all tell me.
Who's the best coach in the NFL? All of the
Right
NFL?
now.
Belichick.
It's still Belichick.
Yes. After that, Belichick is on the trophy. All right. After that, Belichick is in a different stratosphere. Y'all already know what it is. Mike Damn Tomlin.
I don't know.
Yes.
Tell him why.
Never had a losing season in the NFL. Ever.
There you go.
Never, ever.
Since he started.
I think that one of the things Coach Mickens is
How about Andy Reid?
Has he had a losing season? Yes.
but one thing he does have under his belt, he's won big with multiple quarterbacks.
That's true.
See, Sean and Tomlin has had that same quarterback since they've been coaching. Well, so now we're going to see Sean Payton really get into his bag of tricks.
Yeah. Sean Payton is a good coach, but I was saying, I mean, listen, Tomlin's great.
Yeah,
But see, hey Sam, one thing that about him that I always give him credit is that, and I always talk about this, is they were going to hire Russ Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
The Rooney Rule, they had to stick to it because the owner came up with the rule.
Yep.
And he came in there and they said he came in there and just blew him away. He was the most prepared person that they ever interviewed.
Yep.
And he doesn't. And what is he, Craig? Because he's not a coordinator. What did I call him, Craig?
Who?
Tomlin. What do I call those guys? He's a game manager, man.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody can't coach that sideline, buddy.
No, he's a machine, bro. I mean, he was valedictorian in high school, William and Mary. I mean, I've met him at least 5 times, and he's the type of guy when he's in the room, leaders of men follow him. You feel what I'm saying? Like when you're around people like that, that's like president. You know, like when you got a room full of coaches, some college, some high school, and everybody in the room still following you. Come on now.
Hey, my guy Spiro's in the chat, Coach Mickens. He thinks that Wade Phillips coming out of retirement to be the D coordinator of the Bears would be good.
No. I like Wade, but it's over, Wade. Listen, you know who you want.
He's been lobbying for a job on Twitter.
You know who you want if you're the Bears. There's only one coach to go coach the Bears defense. That's Rex Ryan. Take sexy Rexy, bring him into Chicago, let him act a fool as your coordinator, and he'd be just like his father was.
Just like his daddy.
Just like his daddy with the Bears. That defense. Listen, there are 2 people that I think are two of the greatest coordinators. You know, I think Rex Ryan is top 5 coaches as a coordinator out there. I think he is an amazing coordinator. And people want to run the wall for him.
Why he can't get a job?
He doesn't want one as a coordinator. He ain't a head coach. He's a bad head coach. But people still run through a wall for him.
Man, I mean, he wants to be a head coach. He can't take it no DC.
He's not a head coach.
He'd rather stay at ESPN.
Yeah. I coached that. When I posted that Bart Oates video, not Bart Oates, Bart
Scott.
Bart Scott. Yeah, can't wait. Just listen to what they were saying. Like, he had them so riled up, like, they can't stop, they can't do that, they can't. I mean, he used to, for one game, he used to get the Jets right for one game, man. I mean, he's the only one that beat New England when Brady was there. He took them to 2 AFC championship games. One game at a time. Yeah.
I was trying to tell somebody earlier today that they thought it was going to be chalk. They thought it was going to be 1-2 versus 1-2. I said, it's always an upset, brother.
Yeah,
It's never
but
going
you
to
know,
be 1-2-1.
yeah, but you know who's in the Rex Ryan tree of defensive coaches?
Evilfuss.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles can coach a one game.
And let me ask you a question, Coach Mickens and Brother Walker.
What's up?
Me and Dwayne told me this earlier.
What?
Little Marty got fired, and Russ is upset. Little Schottenheimer got fired, and Russell Wilson is pissed.
He should be. He should be.
So do y'all think Pete Carroll overplayed his hand with this move?
No. Well, it's Pete Carroll. I don't. No. It's Pete Carroll. I don't know. He's another really good coach, so he don't seem like a guy to make mistakes like that.
I hope they don't hire Anthony Lynn Sparrows. Anthony Lynn cannot coach offense. Anthony Lynn is not a good coach. I hate to say it.
Can the brother get another chance though?
Not right now. Not right now. He's not a Craig. Craig, he don't have it.
Yo,
he's not a good coach. Let me tell you something, Craig. You know it. He actually destroyed their season.
Mm-hmm.
Now the injuries hurt their season, but he destroyed their season.
The Buffalo game alone made that. The Buffalo game alone.
Craig, they had a quarterback throw for the most amount of yards of any rookie ever.
I know. And what they go 6-10
with a banged up defense.
That's what Quentin is saying. That's what Q was saying.
Yeah, the defense hurt their team. The offense, he destroyed their team. So
the brother deserves another chance.
No, Craig, his in-game management, as we say that walk around coach, that being there on the sideline and coach your coordinators, he couldn't handle it.
I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his wife.
Why?
Because she quit her job in New York to be out there with him.
Huh?
She was a newscaster in New York.
Don't feel bad for them motherfuckers. How much you making a year? They making at least 3 bands a year.
Man, please. I don't care. The man lost his job.
Right. Don't
feel bad for that. I feel bad for that brother. I do, man. I do.
Yeah.
I wish he would have been successful, but he messed up.
He'll get a job.
He
He's
will.
very successful. You know what he was?
What?
NFL head coach. Not a lot of them, man. All right, listen. Gave Q my best, y'all. Y'all did great. Love the show. Dwayne, invite me. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I think Tampa Bay is going to be the first team to have the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
Yeah.
So I like Tampa Bay to get there.
Yeah.
I think it's Tampa Bay versus Kansas City.
Yeah.
I just don't think Buffalo, they can't run the damn ball, man.
Yeah. I'm taking Green Bay, but I'm going with my dark horse. I'm going to stick with Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get off.
I think this paved the way for New England to make a run. I think this was the only team that was going to stop. Not New England, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think Brady may get another one.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, me too. Because look at today. I mean, New Orleans clamped. Brown had no catches. Godwin had no catches. Evans had 1 for 3 yards. That ain't happening next week, bro. The circus going to be back in town, and the best defenses are out, right? I mean,
Yeah, Packers
the
defense
best
is
defense
not that
left.
good, man.
The best defense left
Packers
is Tampa
defense
Bay,
is
right?
not that good.
No, man.
The best defense left is a toss-up between Tampa Bay and Buffalo.
Yeah,
I'm
Tampa Bay is better than Buffalo, I think. But yeah,
gonna tell you this: having White back in the middle of that field was big for Tampa Bay.
What? Craig, was he not everywhere?
Yeah, but
He was covering,
that-
tackling,
yeah,
doing it all from his
It
linebacker.
didn't look like he was about 240 pounds. He looked
Yeah,
swole
but
as hell
Winfield
running around
Jr.
there.
Winfield
Hmm?
Jr. is a difference maker on that
Winfield
back end.
Jr. out there playing like his daddy.
Yep.
Playing like
Bruh. That Tampa 2 looked different with Devontae and Devin White dropping 15
Yeah,
25
man.
yards back in the cover.
Because they could cover, man. They could cover.
They don't got to cover. They get back that deep. You see how they made Breeze throw that ball over Sanders' head? Because he had to get it up over the linebacker, but get it in front of the safety. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this that I know that Tampa Bay probably is a better complete team than the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad man.
With Aaron Rodgers.
If he catches you, see my thing about him
He's a bad man.
is Todd is so aggressive on defense with his personnel.
right.
If he catches Todd with the wrong personnel on that field, they won't see a huddle. They won't see a huddle until they score a touchdown. Fellas,
He's a bad.
when he get in that zone, and the craziest thing about the Packers when he get in the zone, which is funny, they run the football when they get in the zone with their play calling.
Yeah.
It's like it's a rhythm with their play calling that they just start clicking.
Yeah.
And man, like you'll be down 20-0 and be like, "Holy, what the hell just happened?"
Yeah.
21-0, and they like the game just started.
I think the other thing too is that like where Tom Brady was with New England, how everybody knew his shit, right? Everybody knew his little antics and stuff. They don't all know his antics in Tampa Bay. In Green Bay, like when he caught the Rams the other night, everybody was lined up. He was like, and everybody just lined up right with him. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he's just
like they know his antics. You know,
I'll say this: that Bruce is going to be interesting from a play calling standpoint because what Bruce got to be careful with not falling in love with throwing the ball down the field and trying to go big play for big play. He got to let Tom kind of do the game management type of stuff because Bruce get caught up in what Bruce want to do. Y'all know Bruce like to throw that ball down the field, and they just be bombing away each other. You don't want to do that with that quarterback right now,
No,
but he might be the second best, hottest receiver in the league. Adams.
Who's the first?
You know who the first? He playing Buffalo. Ain't nobody hotter than him.
Stephon Diggs.
That's 1A and 1B. That's 1A and 1B because I'm gonna make this argument. Buffalo at least got another receiver. Green Bay ain't got shit.
Man, they got Alan Lazard. But guess what?
Craig, I'm looking at you like it's 1986.
I'm just joking, man. How come that? Guess what?
Craig, Alan Lazard versus
Alan
Beasley or John Brown? Bruh. You got Beasley and John Brown.
Don't they got the other kid, the kid whose father
Gabriel
made sure that he dated another athlete, St. Thomas,
Gabriel.
whatever his name is?
Yeah.
No, you're talking about the Ramen Brown. Ramen Brown.
Saint.
Yeah. His father was an athlete, and he made sure that he married a woman that was an athlete.
Oh, they suck. So does Martin Valdez-Scantling. He sucked.
St. John.
St. John Brown. We don't even know their name. And they play with the GOAT. So
now the Buffalo thing, I'm telling you, I know that Chiefs beat him early in the year. His health, and Dwayne said no matter what, the NFL is going to make sure that Patty is playing.
He's playing, man. You think he gonna miss the AFC Championship game?
He gonna
Nuts.
play.
They're gonna have Dwayne. They're gonna have a specialist say that he's healthy.
What's wrong with his toe?
Henny giving
He had a
Sunday.
concussion.
No, I said I know, but before that, he had a toe injury.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he missed that. He
He
missed
had a little
that.
toe. Might be a little turf toe.
Yeah,
he
that's
got
But
what I'm
listen now.
Who's this guy, Dwayne?
We're gonna talk about what happens in a college locker room. I don't know what happens in a pro locker room, but in a college locker room, if I got the word that guy had a concussion and I'm the defensive end, my D coordinator would definitely say, "Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a gift card if we get him out the game legally."
boy.
And so legally,
What's his?
like if I know you got a bad egg, that's what it's called. Like you got a bad egg, and I can crack that egg, I'm coming, bro. Like if it takes one 15-yard penalty to get you out the game, I'm gonna get that 15-yard penalty.
Who are you, Greg Williams?
Huh?
Who are you, Greg
That
Williams?
just happens, man. That happens all the
No,
time.
that's Joe Vitt.
That happens all the time. I'm just telling you, man. Like it happens 24/7, bro. The Greg Williams shit is just bullshit. It got caught. It happens all the time. You know who has you when you get your scouting report in college, it says ankle injury, it says hamstring injury, it says this, it says that. Don't think people don't twist ankles on the bottom of piles. Don't think people ain't trying to get people out. If I can get you out legally, I'm gonna get you out legally.
I love everybody, but that's what them dirty Elizabeth Minutemen do.
Yeah.
Dirty
I didn't learn that until college. And in college, Joker's punching you in the balls and Joker's hitting you in different places. But they're not trying to take me. I'm a D lineman. But when I was playing against another cat, I'm trying to get a blow that's going to knock you out. Like if I can knock a quarterback out legally, I'm trying to knock him out legally. I'm trying to land on him. I'm trying to do anything I can do.
Well, yeah, Blunder was a cheap shot artist.
Nah, I never got that. I played the game the right way.
Blunder.
Playing the game the right way. Playing the game the right way is trying to inflict pain on other people.
I was doing that, but I wasn't trying to cheap shot nobody.
I ain't cheap shot nobody either. I'm just telling you, if I know you have a problem, I'm trying to hit you in your problem. That's the bottom line.
When I know Aaron Donald got torn cartilage in his ribs,
then I'm punching him dead in his ribs on the first play of the game.
All day.
If I'm an offensive guard, I'm punching him in his ribs. Bottom line.
All day.
Yeah, that's not a cheap shot. I'm trying to see how tough you are. Take that.
If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Remember that.
Correct.
Ricky Bobby said that.
Yeah. So if it's like when a guy fumbles all the time, it becomes everybody goes, oh, it's in your head. It's not in your head. It's because if you fumble the week before, then them cats get the film and they're just punching at the ball all game long. And the odds of you fumbling is gonna be greater.
Zeke Elliott 2020.
Yeah. They know he's fumbling and they're gonna keep punching at the ball.
Yeah, take
That's
them
how
damn
it goes.
sleeves off.
It ain't cheap, Craig. It's just trying to win.
So
I'm not calling it cheating.
So Q.
Yes.
Q, those Spiro's last comment up. I ain't see it all the way.
What was it?
He mentioned the tight end from Green Bay.
Oh no, not that one.
Robert,
look at the numbers.
Yeah, but not that. I don't care about that. No. Well, that's good right there. He's right about that. He's right.
What's
so
that?
who is it? It's Rivera. It's now Shala. It's Tomlin. And
that's not accurate.
Who's the fourth? Yeah,
he's right. He's right.
Yeah, but who's the fourth? Tomlin, Shala, Rivera. Flores,
Miami.
Flores in Miami. Yeah.
Who's
but
that?
he said something about He said something about Deshaun Watson and saying Miami is his desired destination. Is that reported?
Hold on.
That's where he should go.
Okay.
How y'all feel
Well,
about
that's
that?
where we. I think Deshaun Watson should go to San Francisco.
That's a good one too, but they don't have the draft capital.
Right.
Miami has the draft capital. And check this out, Dwayne. Miami already knows that Tua is not their quarterback. On the low. You know how they know? Because they
Yeah, I need to
started
know.
they started Fitzpatrick. With a healthy
Yeah.
Tua, they started Fitzpatrick.
But is he?
I give you, Coach, if San Francisco offers them every pick in this year's draft and next year's number one, they wouldn't take it?
No, it's not enough. You need the one, and then the 2 and the 2. You probably need 4 top.
They do it. San Fran to do it.
Yeah, but they don't have two ones, and they don't have a 1 this year, 1 next year. Oh, I guess they could. I guess they have a 1 and a 2 in both years. Yeah, I guess they could.
Yeah.
But that also sets you back. You know,
I'm gonna ask you, if I was Miami, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I get so freaky with this draft. They'll be doing another movie about the draft day. I trade that number 3 for a whole bunch of other teams' picks and get their number 1 for next year and keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
you could. That's the Belichick way.
They got 6 picks in the top 100.
Yeah. Personally, I'll be honest with you. I'd trade 3 out of the 6 to get. I'd trade 4 out of the 6 to get Watson in Miami if I was a Miami fan.
Oh, wow.
You bring Watson to Miami with the young talent that they have, it's a wrap. I mean, that's like putting Tom Brady back in the AFC East. I mean, it's a wrap. They're young. They got wideouts. They got running backs. They got linemen. They got a dominating defense. They got 2 of the best corners in the league. That'd be bad. That'd be really bad. And they'd be giving up 4 of the top 6 100.
I'm not giving. Spiros just said that's what they saying. I'm not giving that up for Deshaun Watson and taking that salary.
Wait a
I'm
second.
not doing that.
Third round, 3 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and a young player. Who's a young player?
Lot.
With a $40 million cap hit?
I agree,
No.
dude. That's a lot. Right.
No.
Yeah. We got to account for that cap hit.
And see that's what I don't understand. And I get how these players are now in the NFL. They think they're trying to control their future, but dog, you signed that extension. You knew where that organization was going with this coaching situation. You know they just lost their owner, and I'm not saying Deshaun's a bad kid, but when the owner died, you got to read the tea leaves, man. You got to see what's going on with your franchise.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this right now. We only know a 10th of what's going on, right? I mean, I know a cat. One of my good buddies, guy I played ball with, coaches for the Redskins, and I know nothing.
What
That's
Redskins? Who's the Redskins?
Huh?
Who's the Redskins?
Sam Mills. I played with Sam Mills. So you know nothing from those guys. You don't know a thing going in there. Well, hear what I'm about to say to you. AJ Watt, what he said this year told you everything you need to know how bad it is in Texas with the Texans. When he got up there and talked about their culture, talked about all that stuff, and then came out about a week later and said, I want to apologize to Deshaun Watson for wasting one of his years. I think that tells you everything about how corrosive their locker room is and the culture. And their general manager, head coach, I don't remember his name. He is straight ass. I mean, you trade away the arguably the best receiver in the NFL.
Bill O'Brien.
What was his name?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien was ass. Yeah.
No,
That's crazy.
they gave him carte blanche because he was the one that turned around Penn State after the Derry Sandusky
It's
scandal.
horrible. It's horrible.
Oh, you don't
They
say
gave
that
him,
word.
It's
huh?
horrible.
You are never to mention that name on our show.
Oh,
Sandusky.
Which one,
Don't
O'Brien or
mention that word.
Sandusky?
Don't mention that word.
oh, Brian or Sandusky.
Come on, why you keep saying his name, man?
Which one?
Yo, Dwayne.
Bill
Spiro said
O'Brien is
Deshaun.
fine. Don't say that other guy's name.
Spiro said he's taking that deal because Deshaun is a Hall of Famer.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not trading them players. I'm not giving up that new draft
But
cap.
Craig is a McQuarrie fan.
Here you go. I'm not.
Dwayne, the
Don't put no
algorithm,
words
Dwayne.
in my mouth.
His name is McQuarrie. What does that have to do
It is.
with an
It is.
algorithm?
It is. Well, listen, I think Deshaun kind of put himself in a bad situation. I mean, I hope he gets out of it. I
But he
wouldn't
can
mind.
restructure his contract. I mean,
And he
the
got a
thing
trade.
is, if you're a team that is, so I think the Jets. All right, so I think the Jets or Dallas. If you take the Dallas method, which is build a team, then get a quarterback. Like, I think the Jets could do the same thing, right? Like, trade away, don't worry about a quarterback, build your team, and then at the last minute, drop a quarterback in there. So if you're a team that's just, Tampa Bay did that, right? They built their team and then dropped the high-priced quarterback in there. There are teams out there built for that. New Orleans is built for that. New Orleans could easily take him on next year. Get rid of Drew Brees, bring him in there, and that team. Listen, they don't win that game today with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. Shut the fucking front door. Excuse my language. Deshaun Watson wins that game at quarterback today. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
I agree.
I think this is going to be the biggest off season when they talk about quarterbacks on the move ever. It's going to be they're going to be flying.
Right.
So,
but you got to be ready to take that quarterback though, and you only got a small window. Like, you got to build it one of two ways. You either build your team and you have a low money quarterback on his first 4 years, and then you got some high priced guys on defense or whatever, or you build your team and then you got low priced guys, your draft went well, and then you drop a high priced quarterback in, then you got 2 years because you can't re-sign players. Once you pay the $80 million, we saw that with Seattle. You can't re-sign your players.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you were the 49ers, instead of going the Watson route, would you say because of the coach, would you go after Jameis Winston?
No.
Why not?
Jameis Winston has a disease, and the quarterbacks that have this disease, you can't.
I'm laughing. Hey, Sammy,
Yeah.
I'm laughing, right? Because all last year, right?
Yeah.
Every time he would do it, I would call Dwayne and be like, "Yo, this," and Danny Dimes got the same disease.
Yeah, same disease. Yeah, he turns the ball over. Yeah. Danny Dimes fumbles the ball, but Jameis throws interceptions. Yeah.
Well,
they have a turnover disease.
I love Jameis.
Me too.
All you gotta do is have a lifetime supply of crab legs for him, and he'll be all right. That man some crab legs. I mean, Craig.
I think that Jameis is an interesting quarterback to be on a free agent market because if you have a strong quarterback coach, and depending on how your offense is built, you could win with Jameis Winston.
All right, well,
You can't.
I just had a friend from work text me something, and it's the thing that I want people to be careful about. He goes to me, tonight proves that Belichick needs Brady more than Brady needs Belichick. No, it doesn't.
That doesn't prove anything.
It don't prove nothing. Stop it.
Nah, I don't.
No, it's not true. But I will say this. Back to Jameis. Bruce Arians is known to have a very quarterback-friendly offense.
Right.
Very easy reads. You shouldn't throw a lot of interceptions. And he threw a ton of interceptions. And when Bruce Arians took over, it was like, this should save Jameson's career. Bruce Arians is a quarterback guy. He played quarterback at Virginia Tech. And so that's strike one, that he couldn't work with Bruce Arians. Then he goes to Sean Payton. Sean Payton is the quarterback guru, great guy, knows quarterbacks. And then he couldn't do it with Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, like if you're Todd Bowles, let's say, and you got a head coaching job, you're a defensive guy. Like, why are you dealing with, like, if Sean Payton and Bruce and BA and these quarterback dudes, Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, if you go running through their systems and you can't win in their systems, then people don't got time for you, man.
Right.
And he's immature, right? You saw him making his little videos this year in the locker room after they beat Tampa Bay the first time, doing his little dance videos and stuff. He's just immature, man. He's young. He's young. They're young. It's going to take some time for him. I mean, I think the best place for him is in New Orleans. And maybe it's not the city of New Orleans, or maybe it's like Green Bay, like where it's quiet, but you got a guy that you can sit behind. You don't have to play, like Drew Brees. No pressure. You can learn from him. He needs to get somewhere like that and stay there like 2 years. But he can't.
All right. So I know we're getting close to. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What is your biggest takeaway from divisional playoff weekend?
My biggest take, to be honest with you, Dwayne, is something that we talked about before. Is I really think last weekend upstaged this weekend. This weekend the games were good, but it was a little lackluster. Not like last week. Last week we were ready at 12 to start our whole day. I think they pushed these games back a little bit later, and they kind of lost their luster with having two games so later. But other than that, that's my biggest take. And then the Patty, I think him being hurt is big. It's scary because I know they want that Packers Chiefs Super Bowl. That'll be the NFL's dream.
Okay,
no doubt. I'm agree with you that. I don't think. I mean, Dwayne was saying it all last week, but the NFL finds a way to top itself every time, and they did last week. And so, arguably, right, every year that's what everyone always says, right?
Yeah.
But last week they topped themselves and made that the best week of football. And this week, I think I said it to Dwayne and Craig. We was talking. There's usually no surprises, right? Because the home team or the playoff team or the higher seed wins like 80% of the time.
80%.
So something like that is high. That team on the bye typically beats the wild card team.
Right.
It's a high number. And I mean, Andy Reid, did you see his record? It was like 16-2 coming off the bye or some dumb shit. It was crazy.
Crazy. He is crazy off the bye.
Yeah.
If you consider regular season and playoffs,
And
he's something like 35-10.
Yeah, it's ridiculous off the bye. So teams off the bye, it's kind of crazy, man. So this week just went the way it was supposed to go. Hopefully next week gives us something. But I agree with you. Like last week was so good that this week you couldn't top it.
Brother Walker?
No, I don't have no. I mean, and nothing surprised me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what my biggest takeaway is. Once again, the brothers can't get jobs, man. Now they say Leslie Frazier is got a good chance to get this Houston job.
Leslie Frazier is head coach.
Brandon Staley gets the damn Chargers job, what has he done? He was a 1-year coordinator of the damn Los Angeles Rams, right?
Leslie Frazier's a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good coach. He had some bad quarterbacks, but he's a good coach.
I will add this, Dwayne, and it's not on the coach's sentiment, but I did notice something this week with one of the best players in the league, probably the best defensive player in the league, arguably. And the frustration that he had because he was not healthy and that they was losing. I think that a lot of players going forward, I think they're going to start realizing that becoming the highest paid player at your team sometimes is not always, or your position is not always the best thing for your franchise. Because Aaron Donald seems like one of the rare players that really want to win. You get a lot of guys that don't want to win, man. And his work habit and what he brings every day, you kind of seen the emotion on that sideline and not being able to play and losing.
Yeah. I mean, Brady did it for years, right? He took less money, and then people that went to New England, they would always convince them to take a little less money for wins too. But it's hard to. It'd be hard. I mean, these guys are all alpha males and top dogs, and you figure you're only gonna get paid for this amount of time in your life. These jokers ain't gonna work nowhere else,
right?
And some of them won't be able to work nowhere else, like after their injuries and stuff. So, I mean, Harden. Y'all read the things Harden said the other day when they was like, "How come you willing to share the ball?" He was like, "I already made my money. I took care of my family. Now it's not about the money." So,
hey Sammy, I'm a Rocket fan, so I got a lot of mixed feelings with him.
I'm a Mets fan. Thank you. But y'all made out more than the Mets.
Sammy, you got I'm gonna tell you right now, you got a player that'll, even though he's been in the NBA spotlight, you got a player that a lot of people don't realize how really good he is.
Yeah.
He's an excellent post defender.
Yeah.
He don't play much defense on the perimeter, but try to post him up because he's so strong. His lower body is strong, and you'll be surprised how good of a passer he is.
Yeah. And he led the league in steals, right? Last year, second in the league in steals.
And he led the league in assists a couple years ago. He's
right.
And he messed around, had a triple double last night. What do you have?
He's gonna fit. Believe it or not, is the reason why he's gonna fit in is because he knows that offense better than all of them on that team.
Yes,
right.
That's true. Literally, Dan Antonio made that for him almost.
Yeah,
it's like that fit him better. I mean, and we saw it work with Sean Marion and all those guys, but it didn't work like it worked until he got there.
Dude, what's the shooter? What's the shooter y'all got? Allen.
For who?
The kid y'all paid all the money to, the white kid.
Oh, the white kid from UVA. Yeah, that's Joe Harris.
Listen, watch him this year. Watch how big of a year he have. Good heart.
He's gonna blow up. Yeah, because the floor spread. You're right.
Mm-hmm. He's the opposite. He's going to be shooting from the opposite corner.
You're right.
That's the player that's going to be the problem.
You're right. Well, and if Kyrie can,
Kyrie is the icing on the cake. He don't even have to do nothing. Kyrie literally. Let's just hope that our brother is healthy. That's all I'm going to say.
That's what I'm going to say too. I agree.
I don't even want to joke about it.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Craig. We talking about if he's healthy. He up here throwing parties with his father at 40-40 club.
That brother better get his mind right.
Yeah, he
better get that basketball court.
Dwayne, close it out.
He's an activist. But before we close out, I want to answer that guy's last question. I don't think Brandon Staley will be a flop because he has Justin Herbert as his quarterback. So I think Herbert's going to be all right. I may be in a minority, but I don't think the Urban Meyer experience in the NFL is going to work out the way that he thinks it is. So that's my biggest flop of the coaches that I hired, Urban Meyer.
I would, Dwayne, bringing up Urban Meyer. Even one thing about Jacksonville's franchises, they don't make a lot of money, but Saad Khan is one of the richest men in the world. So it's kind of like, is this owner going to be willing to spend his money to basically try to win a championship? And he might lose money in the long run. So it's going to be interesting. Well, that's it, folks. Glad you guys could join us. Glad your coaches could join us. Brother Walker, a.k.a. Brother Walker for right now.
AKA,
I might not.
I can't say it. I can't say
He
it.
better.
I might not like it. I might not like Brother Walker come our draft show, but
Listen,
thanks to Coach for joining us, and you
I
guys have a
appreciate
blessed
y'all.
night.